I'll be speaking with Chris Smalls, a former Amazon warehouse associate manager, who is organizing a protest in front of the Amazon warehouse in Staten Island on Mayday, May 1st. He had a piece in the British paper, The Guardian, called "Dear Jeff Bezos, instead of firing me, protect your workers from coronavirus." And we'll link to that in the YouTube description section of this video. Good morning, Chris.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for having me.
First, let's get into the details of the upcoming protest. Could you tell us where it will be? Could you describe it?
Absolutely. Well, it's a nationwide protest, but for me in particular, here on the East Coast, I will be in front of my former building, JFK in Staten Island, approximately around 11:30 a.m. We will be out there protesting in solidarity, peacefully, 6 feet apart, of course. Also have some sites in New Jersey as well. We will be hitting the two buildings that's in Elizabeth, New Jersey, LGA 9 and DO 2. Also Carteret, New Jersey, EWR 9. That building, that's the one that was recently all over the media about the 30 cases that the mayor wanted to shut down that building. So we'll be heading out there as well. We also have a building down in South Jersey, ACY 1, which is near Philly. So we're touching a number of different buildings with different teams throughout the course of the day here on the East Coast.
So the JFK Building in Staten Island, what's the address on that?
Sure, that's 546 Gulf Avenue, 546 Gulf Avenue, Staten Island.
And do you encourage other workers to come and show solidarity?
Absolutely. Please show solidarity. Come out and support us. Join the picket line.
So people will be doing social distancing, and what will be the big demands? What are the signs going to say?
Well, I encourage people to make up their own signs all the time. I never want to take that creative aspect from people. The demands we put out in our press release, which are, we want to be protected at all times, PPE provided at all times. There's no excuse for that. We want everybody to be retro paid for all the unpaid time they used during the month of March up until present day. We want the buildings that have cases, especially JFK 8, that have a number of cases to be shut down until further notice, and have everybody rated for at least 14 days minimum with pay. Also, we want transparency and honesty from the company at all times. The amount of cases in these buildings are double digits. We need to know what we're walking into every day. There's no excuse on that as well.
Okay, so let's talk about the Guardian article and the circumstances that led to your firing. How long have you been working at Amazon?
I was with the company since 2015.
Mm-hmm. And what was your position?
When I first got hired, I was a regular tier 1 warehouse associate, AKA I was a picker, outbound department.
And what was your last position?
I was promoted up to a tier 3 process assistant, which is also assistant manager, or lack thereof, lower level management. I'm still hourly associate, but assistant is the business title. What I did was fill in for managers whenever they were not at work, whether it's vacation or using personal time. My role was to oversee the operation.
Okay, now for some of us who have never seen an Amazon warehouse, can you briefly describe what it looks like?
Absolutely. Well, we all know it's a production warehouse. I always tell my new employees that get hired with the company, it's 10 hours of calisthenics. So if you have a gym membership, you might want to cancel it. These buildings are massive. JFK in particular, 900,000 square feet, 14 NFL football fields. So pretty much every building I worked at, which was 3 of them, they're all pretty much the same size, or are a little bit more or a little bit less as far as the square footage. So you can imagine how many miles I put on my legs over the last 4.5, 5 years. So I just tell everybody to prepare yourself mentally and physically. You do a lot of walking. You stand up 10 hours a day, um, and you have to be mentally prepared. You can't just come to this job expecting to have an easy breezy career. You won't last. So you have to prepare yourself.
So the shifts are 10 hours?
Yes, that's the minimum shift is about 10 hours. And there's some shifts that are even 12 hours.
Uh, so when the virus started hitting, management told the workers that they were essential. What did they say?
They didn't tell the workers anything. That was the reason why I had to raise my concerns and take further action. Because when we found out our first case on March 24th, that was the day I sent my colleague home. She's a supervisor as well. She was positive, and management, we have a daily sync meeting every single day amongst managers, and that's when we found out about a positive case that was in the building on March 11th. Um, in that meeting, they told me not to tell me and a few other supervisors not to tell the employees. They don't want to cause any panic. They're going to individuals that worked on that side of the building where the associate was last working at. It didn't make any sense to me because we don't know how long he had the virus, where he got it from, and also the fact that Queens, New York, had a case in their building. They closed down. They sent everybody home with pay. They sanitized the building. Everybody came back to work. I didn't understand why we couldn't do the same thing. Their excuse was because they found out the results while the associate was on the premises. In our case, he wasn't on the premises. Um, Still didn't make any sense, but that's what happened.
So again, what was the date when they had this meeting and they said, well, here's the information, but don't panic, people? When was that?
That was March 24th.
March 24th.
That was the last time yeah, that was the last time I worked for Amazon. I left the building. I disagreed with them. I left the building an hour later. When I returned the following days, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, March 28th is the day they quarantined me. When I returned the following days, I sat in the cafeteria off the clock on my own free will to tell the employees the truth, that they possibly been exposed to somebody who tested positive. I did that every single day for about 8 hours a day.
Wow. What kind of protective gear or measures did Amazon take starting, let's say, on the 24th and after that?
We didn't have any protective gear. We didn't have no facial mask. We had we had the gloves that we use, which is worker gloves, but those are not the type of gloves you supposed to have to protect your skin. So we didn't have anything. We didn't have any cleaning supplies. They were very scarce. The cleaning crews, which is a third party company, they were barely showing up to work because they were scared themselves. Hearing a lot of rumors about people that's testing positive. That would scare anybody, especially when the company's not being transparent. So we were unprotected pretty much. They did have small safety procedures, but they weren't working. Um, Nobody was really enforcing them as far as management. So people were just pretty much doing whatever they wanted to do still, and putting themselves at risk, high
So,
risk at that.
so management told you to keep quiet, but you started telling people about it. And then when did it become a walkout? When did you organize that?
Right. So, like I said, I sat in the cafeteria every day telling everybody the truth. I even walked groups of 10 or more into the general manager's office every single day to voice our concerns. Uh, I guess they got tired of me doing that. By Saturday, that's when they decided to quarantine only me. None of the employees that were exposed for 10 hours a day. With my colleague who tested positive, by the way, um, they didn't even inform them that she tested positive. They didn't quarantine none of them. They didn't even quarantine the person that I ride to work with every single day. that Saturday when they quarantined me and only me, I knew something was wrong, something was fishy. That's when I began to mobilize the walkout, which was held on March 30th. I put together a private group chat on social media. I had some associates that was working in the building over the weekend, passing out notes, photocopying, sort of like a secret Mission Impossible operation. Um, I sent emails out to the CDC, the health department, the government, state of New York. I sent emails out to the media, and I finally got an article published. Now the media was contacting me. So everything came together at the right time. But I had 24 hours to do it, and it came together within that time. That Sunday, I got a lot of good feedback, and then Monday, that's when I mobilized the walkout, approximately around 12:30 p.m.
About how many people walked out?
About 50 to 60 people walked out that day, even though the company downplays it, say about 15. But you could tell by the pictures and videos, way more people. At least 50 to 60 people walked out. It was very successful.
And then is that when the company fired you?
2 hours later, 2 hours after the protests, I received a phone call saying they terminated me.
And what was their excuse?
They said that I was warned multiple times about safety guidelines, which is false, and that I violated a quarantine policy, which we never received. But that's what they said.
Your Guardian article was an open letter to Jeff Bezos. Did you hear back from him or from any Amazon big shot?
Yeah, I did. I
You
heard
did?
that I was not smart or articulate.
Well, they're wrong about that too. Let me. Have you heard back from Amazon workers, your co-workers, since the firing?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I talk to them. I talk to them every day. These people are my extended family. I spend 40, 50, 60 hours a week with them for years. So, we talk all the time.
And what's the
They're very
state
supportive.
of PPE at the warehouse now? Has it improved? Are they taking any measures? Is it enough?
No, they're not. It's not enough. It is. They have taken extreme measures after my termination. Yes, they implemented a new temperature checking thing. They have PPE provided as far as a facial mask and I believe gloves as well. Um, but it's not enough. Once again, why did I have to be the sacrificial lamb for all of this to happen? Beats me. But I'm happy that they're uh, actually taking the initiative to do it. I know my building was the first pilot to have the temperature checking thing. Pretty much changed the entire Amazon network because now every building's doing it. Well, I'm not going. I take that back. Actually, I still get reports that certain buildings are not doing it on the West Coast. So, it's not enough. You can't stop the spread of the virus by just cleaning buildings. You have to separate the people. You have to separate your workforce. That's why we've seen the spike in these cases because people are still going to work. They don't know who's positive or not. If you don't have a test, you're asymptomatic. So it's not enough.
Now, with your own situation, I take it there's no union there to protect the workers.
There's no union anywhere, not in the nation, not the states at least. No.
For Amazon, yeah. And a dumb question: is Jeff Bezos and the company able to afford proper safety measures?
Absolutely. They should have done it from day one. I don't know what was the holdup. We were very unprepared. We were still partying in the middle of March, having parties with DJs. We spend like for example, we spend $8,000 on bananas every week at JFK. We have a banana stand that they spend thousands of dollars on every week. Yeah, they have money to do what they want.
Just a couple more questions. I understand the state attorney general's office has gotten involved, sent a letter to Amazon. Is that right?
Absolutely.
How did they respond? How did Amazon respond?
I'm not sure about that. I don't think they have yet, and if they have, they probably put out the same statement they put out with everybody. They have a copy and paste um, response. So I'm not sure, but I know that there has been a letter sent out. Well, leaked out actually. It was actually leaked. So we're still waiting on a response.
All right. Well, good luck with the Mayday action at these various Amazons. And
Thank
again,
you.
people, as you said, people are invited to come down and stay safe with social distancing and masks and help out. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.